It's crazy.
But you said he did say he just needs to nod his head, and then she will extend her hand. You do not extend your hand first, and then you shake it. You have to do it with proper deference.
But you're not supposed to touch the Queen unless she reaches out to touch you first. That's the way it works.
This disgusting hereditary Nazi blob, whose husband was an open Nazi. They brought their cousin Bernhard over from the Netherlands during World War II, was an SS officer. These people write the Royal Commission on Population saying exterminate blacks, Latin Americans, and Asians. They openly fund eugenics. He openly says kill 80% of the world population. Prince Philip's son, Prince Charles, is running around saying get rid of the third world. And then meanwhile, the third world erects statues to him, like in Brazil, where he's a godlike angel over the earth. Him standing on the earth is God. Oh, yes, kill us and inject us with the vaccines.
Yeah, but here CNN is conditioning Americans to revel before the Queen, to treat her as some untouchable God creature.
But she is a disgusting, disgusting, wicked blob. I mean, hereditary scum. And people say, oh, she doesn't have any power. You know, the three big tabloid TV production studios in England that make the money off the inside videos of their palaces and what they do, for the Anglophobes out there. It's disgusting to us. We're so sick of the British royalty, but for the Anglophiles, the worshippers, you're a Frenchophile if you worship the French. You're an Anglophile if you worship the British. This British worship is all over America from our media the last 100 years. And most old women have teacups with the Queen, and they sit around and love the Queen. And there's all these A&E shows and Discovery and History Channel shows and made-for-TV movies and big film productions about how great the Queen is. Now she loves everybody when she is a wicked piece of trash. And then meanwhile, last year, they're going to remove Harper because he's doing a bunch of New World Order stuff. The Parliament votes to remove him. That's how a parliamentary system works. The Parliament votes where the Prime Minister is. They say, we're voting you out. And she says, that's it, my Governor General vetoes you. You are now basically out of power. He stays.
But Alex, that's just on paper. It doesn't mean anything. You don't have to bow before the Queen.
That's right. She just owns most of the world.
Yeah. And it's just sick. They roll this British caricature guy out every single time to play up the pomp and circumstance.
Well, they also, they understand these archetypal images. That's why 100-something years ago, the British were getting sick of them, knowing that they weren't even British. They were German, the Saxe-Coburg-Gothas. And so they've been in control since the 1740s. When the British line died out, they brought the German cousins in. And so they changed it to Windsor. I mean, they've done polls. The average Brit doesn't even know the real name of these dirtbags. I mean, these are dirtbag scum. I mean, this is the head of the New World Order. These are the eugenicists. These are the people bankrupting our economy and bringing in world government. And we have to have everybody stooping and bowing when this country was founded on disgust for royalty, disgust for these people who had everything handed to them, and everyone kissing their butt. And, I'll tell the story right now. If you don't believe me, get a pen and paper out. I'm going to tell this right now, not to be gross or not to be silly or not to be Python-esque or not to be, Saturday Night Live. This is real. This is real. In fact, they've even made a joke about it. They had that thing called Mr. Show on HBO about 8 years ago, where they're treating a guy as royalty and they're wiping his hind end for him in the restaurant. He doesn't have to leave the table. We ought to pull that skit up online or something. But the point is, and we've done deep research on this, they still have their butts wiped for them. Now, if you don't believe me, you Google Groom of the Stool. You cannot make this up. You will be reading mainstream university websites, mainstream news articles. It's called the Groom of the Stool. And a British lord follows the Queen or King, depending on what it is around, follows them around, and they set up in this big cabinet, and they have to fly it around with her. This has been on the news. That's why they fly it around. They claim they stopped it in 1906, but deeper research shows they're just very quiet about it, and millions of pounds are spent a year to move this portable toilet around because it's got to be big enough. She goes up on a throne and craps. I'm sorry. This is real, folks. I'm not Groom of the Stool. Google it. And they wipe her fat butt. Aaron Dykes.
And that's not some lowly chimney sweep either. That's in the British hierarchy. That's a lordly high up position, right?
It has to be one of the top lords. This is the most coveted position. See, it's all about worshiping them. And then I don't want to get into more detail, but then they pick with their bare hands, with respect, and examine it, and then every stool and every jar of urine, it's not put into water, that would defile it, is stored, and all of the royalty stool going back over 500 years is stored. Now this came from France, and in French, it's just the French version of Groom of the Stool. What's the term in French? It's I
think it's like Groom of the Stool. It's a slight translation. I don't know.
Yeah. So this disgusting bucket of pus, this maggot-ridden Nazi piece of filth, gets up there every day, and people wipe her disgusting hind end. I mean, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. And they're funding abortion worldwide. They're funding eugenics worldwide. They are just the enemy of all free humanity. And they have these little parenages they hand out where millions of people in England have their homes, everything paid for by her. I mean, you think they have palaces? They have palaces that are hundreds of square miles in some cases. They have palaces that are whole cities with armored compounds behind them. And it's just amazing. I mean, this is filth. This is the New World Order. Aaron?
It's very strange to me, but our own presidents have their stool guarded by national security forces.
That's right. We did a deeper study. George Bush he reincorporated Groom of the Stool
because it can also be used to examine medical weaknesses. And
that's right. He has a special toilet. Don't believe me? Just type "President has portable toilet," and he's got to have it carted around. In fact, when he's at big global summits, they have to cart it around behind him.
State secrets of the stool.
Well, it's all about worshiping them. Just, even, you know what? I think some listeners probably don't believe us.
I've looked it up, too, as you know, Groom of the Stool.
Remember when I first told you a few months ago and you guys didn't believe it and you Googled it?
It's strange, yeah.
And then I told you Bush had one, you didn't believe it? And then it was Associated Press?
Yeah. It goes back to Edward VIII, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he had a pus sucker also, right?
No. That's Henry VIII you're thinking of.
Pardon me.
Edward VIII was the... Anyways, the point is yes, they had... their pus was so holy. It came out of their festering wounds. It had to be sucked. Oh, there they are. There's the demonic... There is the top Nazi in the world, the Queen, with the second Nazi, Prince Philip, who just literally raves and hates blacks. And there they are talking to this filth. Oh, my God. This is too disgusting. Fade up the disgusting audio for me. Fade it up immediately. We don't have that piped in? Here it is. Photos are being taken of this demonic
Susan,
filth.
That was okay. I don't know if I like the Duke telling the president, "Hey, turn around, buddy, turn around."
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Like, you commoner.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That bothered me a little bit there, but it was okay, wasn't it?
Exactly. He was like, I was about to say it. Shoo, little black man, shoo. Groom my stool. Groom it. Oh, yes. Wipe 5 times.
Yeah, he really is. Hey, Susan, we were talking a moment ago. Okay, so, all right, I can sigh of relief there. We've been talking.
Groom me.
I just want them to be comfortable and the whole thing to go well, and the American president and Michelle is looking terrific, and all right, so that's behind us. Let us talk about the start of this.
Stop. We've been watching all morning. He's the first guy to not grovel. You know why? He's black. And he saw what that was. I mean, that was like slave masters.
Well, this was the guy groveling before.
Exactly. The body, he was just groveling. The body language was, you wretched knave. He literally starts bossing him. Turn around, filth. No, God, you piece of trash. Oh, God.